Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mercury conjunct Saturn in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart, and they were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Mercury conjunct Saturn in a natal chart, there may be very intense communication, which is Mercury's communication on career-related matters, which is Saturn. Now, if you have Saturn in Aquarius as an example, career-related matters may be associated with humanitarianism, doing something with the environment, could be astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, innovation, meteorology, aviation as some examples. If Saturn, another example of Saturn is in Aries, well, career-related matters, maybe career endeavors may be associated with firefighting, military, combat sports, speech pathology or speech therapy. Could be welding, carpentry, something in which you exhibit leadership prowess and ability as some examples. And the mind, which is Mercury, may often be on work and responsibilities, which is Saturn. Now, if Saturn is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, responsibilities may be tied in with the home, the family, maybe introverted, activities or things that need to be done in the home. It could be, things connected with laundry or plumbing or real estate. As some examples of Saturn is in Gemini as another example. Responsibilities may be manifold, they may be tied in with communication, assimilating information. It could be doing things that require manual dexterity, such as auto or refrigeration mechanics. And another thing about Mercury conjunct Saturn in a natal chart and how it may manifest could be where there might be chronic issues, which is Saturn with the hands, the arms, the nerves, lungs, and breathing, which is Mercury. Let's say it's a conjunction, let's say if it's in Taurus, it could be very stubborn, persistent issues in Aquarius. It may be ones that are more sporadic, intermittent. It may be, it could be nerve-related issues. I mean, Mercury is connected with the nerves anyway, so if you have it, say, in Aquarius, it could be, it could increase that propensity for chronic issues that involve the nerves. Now, the thing about this aspect, too, is that you may be very serious in terms of, doing activities, with the series of Saturn, doing activities. Well, really what it is, you may be serious in matters with, communication in general, but it could also be where there may be a lot of, you could say, just a lot of, concentration, which is Saturn, on communications. The father, older people and authority figures is connected with Saturn. And if you have Mercury, making a conjunction to it, naturally, there could be a lot of thinking about these people, a lot of communications that are tied in with them. They may be people that are mercurial, loquacious, talkative, restless, and the thing about this too is there may be, Mercury's connected with short journeys, so it could be where, short journeys, which is Mercury, may often be to business, career, political, government venues, which is Saturn. If Mercury is in Pisces, these short journeys may be very convoluted, a lot of winding roads. If Mercury's in Aries, the trips may be very quick, spontaneous and impulsive, as some examples. And another way Mercury conjunct Saturn may manifest in a natal chart is there may be much concentration, which is Saturn, on matters pertaining to communication, writings, manual dexterity, which is Mercury. Now, if you have the conjunction in Taurus, this could be where it could even increase that, because Taurus obviously is very persistent, stubborn energy. The zodiac sign Taurus can have very good powers of concentration. If you have, say, Mercury, in the zodiac sign Cancer, there may be, things, activities that involve manual dexterity that are at the home, such as working on, vehicles at one's home. And another thing about this aspect of the natal chart is that you may often analyze, which is Mercury, matters pertaining to the career, social status, stature in life, responsibilities, one's fears, and time as well, which is Saturn. Now, I have, it's interesting, if you have Saturn, say it's in the 12th house, it could be analyzing fears that are connected with the unknown, that you haven't embarked on, as one example. If Saturn, going back to the zodiac sign Cancer, if it's in Cancer, then, those fears may simply be connected with, displaying emotions, or, maybe having some kind of structure in one's home, family life, expressing unconditional love due to perhaps a fear of being hurt if one does so. Now, another way this aspect may be expressed in the natal chart is there could be, really, the person may drive, which is Mercury, with much prudence and caution, and also planning, which is Saturn. So even if, say, Mercury, like say, is in Aries, very, impulsive, quick, sign, there may be more caution and prudence than otherwise indicated. Mercury in Sagittarius can be somewhat reckless, I would say, with driving. But if you have the conjunction with Saturn, then that could modify things to some degree. The person may be more cautious in driving than otherwise indicated. Now, another thing too is there may be much planning, which is Saturn, in matters associated with cars, which is Mercury, whether it's driving or whether it's, working on them, taking a short trip, purchasing, a vehicle, as some examples. And the thing too is, if you have this aspect in the natal chart, the early education, which is Mercury, may be taken very seriously, which is Saturn, if I'm not mistaken. Bill Nye, the science guy, has Mercury conjunct Saturn in his chart, and that maybe, his early education was likely taken more seriously than most. He has the conjunction in Sagittarius. So, that even though Sagittarius is jovial and jocular, I'm sure he took his early education much more seriously than most people. Even though, Saturn conjunct Mercury can also indicate, thinking that may be, somewhat rigid and inflexible as well. Now, another thing too is that the thinking, which is Mercury, may be very disciplined, yet could be negative and pessimistic, which is Saturn. And there may also be, periodic states of despondency, because Saturn is the sad planet and Mercury is, connected with, thinking. Now, if the conjunction, say, is in Taurus, there may be despondency over monetary matters, one's self-worth. It could be possessions, and being, issues with being self-reliant. And also, too, if you have this aspect in your natal chart, you may be someone that frequently thinks, which is Mercury, about aging, which is Saturn. Anyway, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.